Hi, I am Brenda Jean Power, Medicine Woman from Medicine Woman Solution, and there's always a solution once you're aligned. But how do you get there?
Doesn't do, yeah, but it doesn't do me any good to be
That's
that
why
way.
you grab a tool, and like the OMG, if you hear her, you can grab a tool. You can change it. Literally, you can. But you can't if it doesn't do you any good if you just hands her off to the side and all you keep doing is doing auto response and arrested development. Grab a tool. When in doubt, heal it out.
Well, I
Tap it
tried
out.
today. I did. Well, I didn't tap, but I tried. When I did that, I tried to do uh, L2D, and
Well,
I tried.
sometimes it's not, you can't get to the heart first. Each one of these, this is why I do hope therapy, because each one of these, there's a story. And sometimes you can always go to L2D or L1D, but right now your heart says, no, you're not listening to me. You're not listening to why I have them up. Okay.
So
So,
what do I do? I'm like, I was so frustrated tonight, and I
okay. Well, see, I'm trying to tell you simply some simple words, and your little self is upset. You're talking to me in ego mindset, which you can't hear. So just stay there and be quiet with your hand on your head
okay.
and let the little girl talk to you through your physical body, through that nasty, hellish thought processing. Okay. All right. So you stay there, just notice it's a 10. Just notice it's high. I mean, you sometimes when you feel it could feel low, but your head is so okay. That's what you measure. Hello, girlfriends. We have Vicki and April. We're going to take Vicki first, see what you're doing, and then we'll jump over to April. Oh, no, wait, actually April, because you paid. And you know what? Because of this April, I got confused by the names. Yes. Okay, so Vicki, I'll be right with you in a minute. So I'm going to go over to Miss April Lynn. Ask you to there you go. Hi, darling. How can I help you?
Hello. Well, this morning I woke up with a headache and I was just in all kinds of craziness, and I don't know if it was extra energies or what, but then I was just I figured that I was in my ego mind because I was just like, why is this happening? Why is this doing this? But
Yep.
I figured out that I can help other people, but I don't hold myself accountable to help myself.
Okay.
And
Okay. So now I'm hearing you were supposed to be passive, go into fawn. So I think you're addressing that part of a behavior. Do you know what I mean?
I think so.
Okay. So when you want to help others, but you can't hold yourself accountable, is because you were taught that you have to put others first.
Okay.
Okay.
And
And there's
that
nothing wrong. I believe the highest honor is to serve. But at the same time, you need to be serving your higher self and then help to serve in the direction you need. Stop living
yes,
on the outside.
then that would have made me think of my body was reacting, and I was like, okay, I've been here before. What is this? In my childhood, I wasn't allowed to express myself. I wasn't allowed, no, you have to do it this way and everything. And then I done a lot of healing tools and a lot of tapping today. And so
Good.
when I got on, I wasn't coming on for healing, but then everybody got on there, and then one person did one trigger, then another person did another trigger, and then another
So
person did
spirit
another
wanted you
trigger.
to pay
And
attention.
so my body is like my chest and my stomach, and I'm hot. And then so you're telling them tapping. So I've been here the whole time that I've been waiting. I've been doing all kinds of
Okay. And it's
tools and
not,
everything.
and has that been helping to some degree?
A little bit, but
Okay.
this morning I had like a vision, like I was in a room
Okay.
and I was like walking one side, but then I would come back and it would be like the exact same position I was at. So I'm going in a loop,
Yes, it's probably
and
that
I
rest
can't
development auto
find to
response.
get out of that room.
Yes, that makes sense because see, this is why fawn. You're sculpted yourself that you had to be a fawn child. And there's nothing wrong with that, except for when I say to you, you have to become something out of sympathy. So you want to be with what you want to do, but you were told that you really can't take care of yourself. That's vain. That's wrong. That's stupid. You need it, or you don't have time because they're over there crying, screaming, and whatever, and you have to pay attention to the outside. So if they're trying to get you to do something out of sympathy. This means, how do they talk? How do they use their gestures and their expressions to get you to do what they want? And it can be just a built-in automatic response without knowing it. I had a person in my life that gaslit me and did it in such a passive-aggressive way that it set me off to automatically do what they wanted. And I could spiritually, in my mindset, I'm going, why am I doing that? I couldn't even stop myself until I started to catch how they were using their words, how they were controlling. They knew they were doing it. And when I caught that that was happening, I seen the program and I started to heal out that I have to do something out of sympathy. I have to become somebody out of what they want. They know what words to use to get me to get what they want. Does this make sense?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so now there you go.
When I would stand up for myself to my ex-husband, he would always say and point out, oh, well, you don't do this and this and this and this. And by the end of the argument, I can remember being on my knees and crying, going, I'll be a better wife. I'm sorry. I'll be a better wife.
I mean, sorry, but yay. Okay, now guess what happened? Okay, your body, your will got manipulated, and that you had to put yourself in an inferior position.
Mm-hmm.
And now you need to wake up to how that energy is trying to be superior to get what it wants.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now you're going to hold left wrist, third position, nice and soft. Okay. And think about all that. Get the number nice and high for me. Oh, you got a good picture there. What number is that?
Like a 15.
Yeah, that's the one I want you to stare at. Okay, Miss Vicky. Hi, darling.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. And how are you?
I'm pretty good. I actually think I finally got to the root of kind of my abandonment issue today. So I feel really good about that. Like I saw it and understood it for the first time, and it was so convoluted.
Yes, yours was, but you pushed forward. You did it. I'm proud of you. So what do we want to address?
I'm having a hard time right now trusting my intuition or knowing who to trust. And
okay, makes sense. The reason why is they said, because as soon as you said I'm having a hard time, they said friend. And that's friend to the higher self and friend to humans out here.
Okay.
Now, regardless of what's happening here, I'm going to go back and I'm going to ask Spirit just directly, why is it we're going to talk about the intuition first? Like in the academy class we're having, we're deliberately learning how to communicate there. And they said that aggression energy has always been a part of your conditioned life growing up. Is that true?
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you were taught to also be a very strong woman. And because of that aggression, you were taught to do that it actually started to say, I can't trust my intuition. I'm not supposed to. I have to be this. Does this make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so as you start to open up that yin side of you and that part of you that got squashed, you are now addressing people differently. So there was never really a bonding. You had to bond the old way, the ego's way. So that new energy that comes out, you've never bonded with people like that before. Now you're doing your best, but now it's both sides. Okay. There's not a balance. It goes yin, yang. You see, there's not the clear communication it needs to. Does this make sense?
Yeah,
okay. Sort of. Okay, so let me go a little bit further. They said yourself gets very overwhelmed. And then all of a sudden it doesn't know how to think or feel about something. So they're telling me that you go into a symptom. And I go, well, tell me more. Is it she displays it? Okay, and the symptom, when you start to see a very particular filter or gesture that looks aggressive, but isn't aggressive. Oh, I'm diving further into seeing what love looks like to some degree, because they're going back to when you first met your mom and dad, and there's a certain amount of energy that came off of them. Okay, a certain amount of energy that came off of them. And so and I feel like it could have been more aggressive. It could have been more projective. It could be more narcissistic or negative or whatever. But there was a part of your yin part. You're like, oh, that's scary. Okay. So they're saying this is where you started to put a defense up. When you're doing spirituality, you're replacing defenses with boundaries. And then it's that fine line when you hear two sides of the story. If you didn't hear two sides of the story, you get very persuaded in one direction or the other. Now they're showing me this is your younger self. And then you started getting older. You're like, I don't like this. So then you started to control that middle. And you're like, I don't want to hear either side. But then I understand both sides. Because you now are moving from this is who I am to now I'm growing to find my inner part of me. So yeah, I'm watching the convolute. I'm watching all of this. Okay. Do you know we're working on, like, you know, the theory of what I said before was that you have a spider web, then you got tentacles and spider webs. You've got this issue goes into at least 16 spider webs. Okay. This is how much you tried to fix your life to get back to happy. Damn it. I just want to be happy. Damn it. That's all I hear. You know, so you have to fix something here, fix something here. You've been growing, they said, gift wise, because you have been practicing. Well, I don't want to say practicing, taking the action and being, that it's the energy is going into these old patterns and it's confusing them because it's like, no, I'm supposed to control. You're like, nah, put some love there. Put some love there. Do this. That the pattern of who Vicky is getting confused. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So what do you want her to do? Can you trust yourself?
I feel like I can.
On the scale from 0 to 10, yes, I can trust myself. What do you think it is?
I still don't know how to trust myself in spiritual mindset. And I think part of it is because I was so much older when I finally woke up, and I was so conditioned and so used to doing things that now doing it in a different way is completely out of my wheelhouse. I'm learning at the same time.
What if I say the word disapproval?
Fuck it. I don't know.
Because when I'm looking at that as the strong person that's before me, yeah, you can say F it and you're like, you're fine. No, it doesn't matter. But remember, we go by roots.
Yes. Inside, I know if there's disapproval or what have you, inside.
Yes, that's where we're looking, because they just said towards yourself, and they're really starting to say that you're ready to take some of the blinders off because you've squashed it for so long. And there are days that'll shoot up when you're married and it'll just be in your face and ugly, and then it'll go away. And then, okay, so now I'm asking Spirit, what do you want her to do? How do you identify with it?
There's a part of me, and I'm very spiritual, but there's also a part of me that I don't necessarily think ego is always a bad thing. And so for me, finding that balance between ego and spirituality, and then I also struggle with, I'm trying very hard to forgive, but it's been difficult because new things keep coming up.
Okay, let me just do this. Okay, so you have a habit. When, like you said, you've been conditioned for a long time. This is who you are. This is your identity. It's hard to change identities. That's going to be the biggest thing for you, because when you identify with that, why in the heck should you change? That's who you are. When I came over here, the biggest thing was that my identity was changed. Not my, which was identified myself with my environment. I identified, but now my environment's different. Going to the grocery store, buying things, that was part of my identity. That was changed. They kept trying to blow my mind. And I'm like, what? And when I've had to lose my identity 3 times, this one was intentional. I was forced to lose those other ones. It's hard to get to a new identity, at least when you're in ego mindset. You have protected yourself with your ego for so long. You've had to, you were trained to. That it will be time. You'll have to take time how to trust, not just doing like this with other people, but doing it for yourself. Okay. When you begin to heal loss, what?
I guess for me, I mean, there are things I definitely had to work on and healing out and seeing. But for the most part, I liked myself.
Right.
It was that
right. And that's where you're going to take the wisdom, not throw the baby out with the bathwater, but this is where when you do your healing, you're going to preserve all the positive learnings on a very particular subject you're doing. And you're going to just store that into your mind where it needs to go. And you're going to look at the word aggression. No matter where it's coming, you got to protect yourself. I got to give it. I got to be it. I got it, whatever.
Well, aggression was in my family, because we're an Italian family. Aggression was a good thing, and it was everything, because you had a bunch of loudmouth Italians. And
okay, so now you're looking at your encoding of your bloodline, Italians.
Yeah.
So now that's been your identity. April goes, yeah, she agrees. So this might have to do with you, Thor, about how the encoding that you have to be a certain way. And this is where you got to break your dogma to your bloodline. When my last name was Heft, it's like, yeah, Hefts, you stood up for Heft, you do this and that. And it's not that I wouldn't stood up for my brother and sister. It's just that I don't need to live in that belief system. And when I started to be more me, and everybody was in their pain and they would rally forth, there was no individuality. That's the first chakra. How do you find individuality away from certain things that no longer serve, certain tribes, certain things that no longer serve? Your identity for so long, that's what you're addressing, because you've got to have loss to it. The 5 stages of grief. Grief is about, like, when I had an issue with somebody, and the only way that I could really deal with this was that when it comes to breaking up with friendships, loved ones, whatever, you need to look at the 5 stages of grief, because there is a loss, because you had this promise or your thoughts or your thing that this is the way you are, that this is the rest of your life. This is what it is. When I moved here, I had to break up with the grocery stores and the prices, and I was going through the 5 stages of grief, and it was hilarious, but it was true. And I had to heal and mourn. I had to do these little things. See, people think, oh, you're cold-hearted. Why'd you? No, I don't display that, but that's where they're assuming that's how you break up with things. You don't have to. You have to take and you have to mourn the loss of something that can't be. Sometimes you have to go through that. You have to accept the fact that who you turn to every day, hey, this is a job. I can't talk to them. I got to do it over here. And we easily like to get stuck in the past. So you have to look at part of that identity. Can you transform that aggression into assertiveness? Can you change that aggressiveness of saying, ruff? Does it have to be to get your point across? Do you have to put the block over your heart? In this time,
I think
no.
for the most part, I have gotten past that, but there's still a little bit.
Because if I were to measure it, you're down to a 6. You haven't gotten farther. And you've been holding this pattern, according to them, for at least 3 years. And if I ask, why is this, and they go, because it's about relevancy. What's relevant to me? What's irrelevant? And they said, just notice that part of how you do things is you're supposed to jump to conclusions. So they're showing a breakdown of how to be an Italian. Okay, a breakdown, how you're supposed to, do you understand that?
I get the jump to conclusions.
Well, one of that is the jumping to conclusions. Do you need to be that if you're going to be in your spiritual mindset? Is it required? Does it hold you back from being your true self? Yes, it does. And you got to decide that identity, can I live without it? Do I need to go there? Is there another way? And this is where you employ spirit. Is there another way that I can use my brain, left and right balance, or with my intuition, a cohesive part of me that can trust my higher self to look for the good, take me to the next step without having to jump to conclusions when it comes to people or this and that? Because your brain is trying to figure out how to keep itself safe, secure, and stability. And it'll go insane doing it because it's stuck in a loop. Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
But it goes back to being disapproval. I think your next adventure is to write down that I need approval or disapproval, or no, I have to give disapproval. Look at how the different ways of the energy moves around that word.
Say that part again. Didn't quite get that.
The disapproval, look at it as energy and how many directions, whether it's coming to you, going away from you, that I have to do this, where is it? And notice how you do approval or disapproval, how it serves, because they said that in somewhere along the way, there is grudges that you have to release. And this is that forgiveness part. And because when you did this, you had to give up something you wanted, so they're happy. Do you see the pattern here? So you have to take it one step at a time, which is notice that you had to repress who you really were to live that dogma that I have to be an Italian, that I have to live this way, that I have to live that way. At the same time, you're trying to figure out how to live Vicky's way. But it has to be the higher self, Vicky, because you're moving into a different purpose and a path. Last thing you want to do is be accused.
Accused, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of it I really had fun with. So.
Well, again, when people think that somebody died, I can't heal it out, or I'm going to lose them forever. That's not true. When you have these parts of you that have served you and has served you well, while at the same time they didn't serve you well, you're preserving all of the positive learnings that you got from this. The wisdom is what you want. Right now, the wisdom is sitting out in front of you. You need to heal that so that you can claim the wisdom so that it can be more of you every single day. So you can live it, talk it, walk it, and breathe it. That's you, but you can't have it if it's out here. Okay? So when people can't communicate, again, when people die and you're like, oh my God, and you don't want to heal that pain, and then you're going to be forever suffering. But the moment you heal that pain, all of a sudden the connection, the link becomes stronger, healthier. And when you start to take new knowledge and put it in, the bonding with the dead on the other side becomes much more healthy. That's the same for when you have to give up certain identities. You have to stop believing so you can get your willpower back so that you can start to see a better and greater than your environment. Does that make sense?
I wish it did, but
right, and that's because your ego mindset can't hear it. So let's get you adjusted. Okay? So right now your left brain is down to a 1 and your right brain is down to a 2. So we got to get your brain. So notice that we can talk about things and she's just going to get stuck in the cycle. Now we have to get the energy to go back into the head. And so what we're going to have you do real quick is that you have anything frozen. Oh, we're going to take care of that first. You got 2 frozen, large intestine and lung. Okay, so you're going to get your magnet or your hand. This is your large intestine and this is your lung. So you're going to make sure you have your magnet. Yep. You're going to do this part and this part. You probably could get away with doing, I don't know, you got to be creative, but you got to do both sides and then rub the 30 times, do both sides. And I'm going to talk to Thor. Okay. All right, Thor, how are you doing, sweetheart?
A little bit better. I'm going to have to remember to take these tools and use them when I'm feeling like this, because
Right. Because when it starts and you don't catch it, it will spiral out.
Yeah, it got worse. I mean, I kept thinking that I took deep breaths and I did my prayers and I thought it had gone, and then little things trigger, like I'm busy doing the dogs, and then like me stepping in dog poop, and then walking in the house, and then I just blow. I break down, I cry and I bawl and I scream because there's all these things that have to be done. And
right.
now, that was one thing that, it wasn't very bad, but usually if it's like that, I have to stop everything and clean it up, because if not, somebody else steps in and it's all over the place. So
your life is like my situation that I had with my gallbladder. My gallbladder was creating pain to the point it was driving me insane. No medication, nothing was stopping it, to the point where I would pass out because the pain was so bad. I get into the hospital. They drugged me three times. I mean, they just kept pumping, and finally it started working. I says, oh my God, why did it take so many drugs? And they says, we have to get ahead of it. Spirit just says, did you hear that? I said, yeah, I got to get ahead of this. Otherwise it'll consume me and it can hurt me. And that's where you were going. It had consumed you. Now you're learning to get ahead of it. And that means if you have to take, because what happens is that when we don't understand how the mind works, our thoughts will go like a heat-seeking missile. And if you don't pay attention to those 41 thoughts per minute, just take 2 minutes, sit down with your timer for 2 minutes, close your eyes and just breathe. And what comes up is the thing where you're losing power. You write it down or say it into a recorder, but stay there for 2 minutes. And then when you're done, notice the quality and the quantity, the intensity of it. And then go heal that. Go tap that out. You do not need to keep perpetuating this. See, we don't always hear what we're saying or thinking. But if we can do the 2 minute healing, the 2 minute timeout, the 2 minute, you're learning a discipline so that you can figure out how to get ahead of, instead of it taking you down and destroying your life. Okay? Your inner child knows that you heard it now. And it's going to it's going to cry like a little child. Me, 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 me. It wants to be heard. Now, you don't need to put it in timeout anymore. You can learn to address and give it love and say, yes, you weren't helped. I'm here to help you. You're going to learn to bond. Okay? All right. So you are feeling a little better.
Yeah, I am. And I'm just thankful you were on tonight so I could, yeah. My other friend said, well, you just went through a bunch of energies and the energies are going crazy. You just got to let it be and cry. And I'm like, but I need to fix it.
Yes, you do.
I don't want to have this stuff run my life. I want to,
exactly.
And I told her, I said, look, I said, I love you. I know you want the stuff. I said, but suck it up, buttercup. Let's live in the now. Live in the now,
Yeah. This is why it's important that we do this show, because people do not have to live there. I have known that.
I didn't even know that I had all this crap. My mom used to tell me you have, and I believe this a couple years ago, she said, you have control over how you react to things. I did some emotion code stuff, and I don't believe that anymore, because there's too many triggers and there's too many stuff in the background that you just react, and we can't really have a choice when we're reacting.
Now, here's the thing. Yes, this is why I come into play, because when they're set in stone, which we can change, but it's a acceptance and the belief, and then we gave it our willpower. This is why I look at all the tools, and it goes back to this. You've got to participate what you're doing in your life. And when you get that realization and you can learn the tools, you then know what, yes, I can be responsible and make a choice. But when those other ones start to kick my ass, I'm going to resolve to evolve them. I'm going to get my power back. And so I can wake up to the habit and the pattern and stop it. So this is where then you retrain yourself and you grow. This is where we're at. And
so whenever I'm having an emotion that I'm going, because I do this a lot, I cry for no reason. And I always thought that was because of other people's energies.
They can play a part, but your little self has been asking you to help her for a long time. And your soul, anytime a shit storm happens, even little mild ones, your soul is, can you heal it now? Because you couldn't do it then. Can you do it now? That's why I teach people not to waste the moment.
See, I didn't think that, because I had a client that his dog died and his baby died. And well, they thought the dog attacked the baby. And anyway, he was going through all this, and like a week later, I'm outside working, shoveling, and I get this overwhelming feeling of grief. And I'm telling you, I hit my knees crying, and I knew I had to pray for him, and I prayed for him, and I prayed for him. And then 2 minutes later, I'm up and I'm shoveling again like nothing happened.
Right.
I have those, and so I didn't think it was from me. I didn't think it was
right.
Me.
But see, the thing is you have this is the thing is that's energy.
Right.
Sometimes your thoughts will go and connect and it'll bring it in. Sometimes it's like when you're talking to the dead, all you have to do is think about them. That's the phone call. That's picking it up and thinking of them. It connects you. When we think of time and space, you need to let it go. Because when you think about it, you can actually, if you don't understand exactly how your mind operates, your ego will take hold and run there in the background and you won't hear it. But your body doesn't know any difference. All it does is see a mirror, and it'll produce the same hormones as if you were that person. Okay, I need to teach a whole course on just empathy and what happens with energies. But at the same time, it triggered up, going down to your first, second, and third, and fourth chakras. All the chakras are level of consciousness, but they're data banks. And each of these, so as you had thought about that, it went all the way down inside of you, pulled up that memory of how you know emotion. Now, since you don't really know how to control it or be it or any of this, your body then says, oh shit, and then you started to feel it and it took over. This is where we don't have healthy boundaries. We don't know how to balance. That's the problem. Okay, because I think it's funny when COVID, from tip to tip of your fingers, this is your energy field. And it is time that we start to balance this. Okay, but we also have to watch, because our thoughts are electrical and our emotions are magnetic.
Okay.
Thoughts become things. And so just for a brief incident, you created enough chemical peptides that your body had said that you had to explode and release. Okay. All right. I'm going to have to let you go. You go and relax. Take care of yourself. Rewatch us again and again. Take care of yourself. Okay, hon?
All right.
Because you're ready to move out of that and into a new space. All right. All right. I appreciate you coming in and sharing and being vulnerable, because I appreciate it. And thank you. Okay. And stay blessed. Thank you. Okay. Now let me move on to April real quick. How are you doing?
I got it down to about a 3, but I was trying to go back to the picture that I had so I can do my Wonder Woman stance and take my power back, which led to, I can see my feet, my legs, my hips, my body, my arms. I can't see my head. I can't see my face.
Right, because you can't see the alarm. So as you did that, I watched how your right side of your body had just went into what's called this worthless feeling. And then it said that it's gone into emotional repression. We're going back to 8 years old. And one of the things that it did was felt very overpowered. And there's an impending. And so then the alarm kicks off. So I said, what do you want her to address? And they said, well, how she has believed what insecurity is. She knows what insecurity is. She just, in her body knows it more than her mind. But if she were to define, is it true? So when you feel the insecurity, you have to begin to do homework. Do I have to be insecure about that? Well, I feel insecure. Do I really have to? You start questioning the way your ego mindset says, yes, you do. Because you start questioning that with your higher self. Remember, to activate that higher self, then what will happen is you will then start to go, no, I don't have to. And you can start to take back your power Okay. Now you can tap it out. You can do what you need to do, but part of it is connected to criticism. Look at those eyeballs. Oh, God, yeah. So now you have to understand, do you have to feel the pain or the criticism to be as shards? Because we want to train you to look at feedback versus always being in pain by words. And they said, oh, see, they're telling me that you have to notice what you're paying attention to and notice that it can be very aggressive. Does that make sense?
No, not
Okay.
really. I got the criticism part.
So when people criticize, do you ever see it as aggressive or nice?
Just mean.
Mean.
Yeah.
That's aggressive. That's
Yeah.
not assertive. That's mean. That's aggressive. So how do they deliver it? Or in a nice way of sending you to hell and you didn't even know you were there. But the intention of how it moved it to get you to the space, your ex knew how to do it. And notice how you believed it and you questioned. He's right.
Yeah.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
You ought to look at, instead of getting feedback and learning how to work together and cooperate and all of that, it was criticism to control. And it hurt. The thing is somebody criticizes, do you have to feel scared? No. Do you have to take it in and believe it? No. Is it their issue? Yes. Are they trying to get you to do what they want? Probably. Or are they actually, once you start to remove the filter, you will then start hearing people giving you examples of how their experiences, and then you can turn around and go, interesting.
A thought just came up when I was younger, and they always say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And one of the things I was like, well, I love animals. I'm going to work with animals. I'm going to be an animal doctor. And my mom told me, well, you can't be that because you're too emotional. You'd be crying all the time and wouldn't get any work done.
Yeah, there it is. You got it. R3S. That's your alarm. R3S. You got it. You listened. Good job. Hold it and get the number nice and high and let's go. Miss Vicki. Now, as I'm looking, did we work on both yours? Because I don't see any alarm. I mean, the frozen bits. Okay, now I'm talking in, what the fuck? I'm resetting apparently. All right, what did I have you do? That's all I'm going to ask.
You had me do the intestine and the lung.
Yes, and that's correct. Yes, and as I measure them, they're good. Yes. Now the energy is starting to move. We were talking about how you couldn't really grasp. You hit that level of understanding, and that is one of the things they want you to understand is that you feel that you don't understand why people treat you that way. Why? You're stuck in those words. I don't understand. Why? That's an actual feeling. You just displayed it. And then we used the tools to help balance a little bit. Do you understand now what I'm saying?
Like people treat me that way. Yeah, that one resonates.
And there's a part of you that just feels this disbelief. Why do you have to do that to me? Because that's your younger self saying that. You just have a disbelief, and that is like the first time my ex told me, well, I just don't love you and I don't love your business. I don't like what you believe in. I don't want to be a part of it. I was in such disbelief because I thought this man and I were on the same page of loving one another. I was in shock of a disbelief. Does this make sense?
Yes.
That's what you did. You're just like, wait, what? That disbelief. So are you ready to heal that?
Yeah.
Okay. They want you to hold L2S. Because when you were younger, you had this disbelief about 6 years old, and you kind of just didn't want to feel that disbelief. You just kind of pushed it under. So look at all these beautiful people in the room. Now, if you again, at the end of the show, if you hit the love button, that means you want to be in and you share it publicly. You get to have your name into the drawing. And we'll have that at the first of the month. And you get a chance to win a 30-minute free reading with me. Okay. So if you wanted to come on, I don't even know what time it is. Oh, yes, I do. I probably should rewind this. Now, if you want to come onto the show, then the best thing to do is understand that it costs $23, no limit, and you get, oops. See, I should have been paying attention. Excellent. Okay. Let me see where I'm at. Now, Anna, is Anna gone now? Because I don't see Anna. Now, I can't say her last name because that's big and huge. It starts with a A. K. Anna K. She may not be here, but if you want to come on, you send money. You send in the fan page to the link so I can see it. And somebody has paid, and Sharon has. I'm going to give her the link. I'm going to find her first. Miss Gordon. Here we go. There you go, sweetheart. Click the link. It'll bring you in. If it asks you to join a meeting, then type the last few numbers that's on that link. And get to the right screen. If you guys feel like this is very beneficial, then please share. I put this is up on YouTube as well. So, but do your best to learn from this, heal from this, and move forward and help. We need to reshape humanity, mankind. It's mankind, womankind, whatever. There was a joke. Spirit, did you see that the other night? Oh yeah. Okay, so they're trying to have a conversation with me and confuse me. They're funny. But humankind, we're here to help create a different type of humanity. I do appreciate you sharing, and that is very helpful. Ooh, April, you just shifted somewhere. I felt like you just got something will back. Can you see your face now or something? Because thank you, Erin. I appreciate it.
I can at least see my head, the back of my hair.
Yeah, you're looking at the safety now. You're like, I think a part of you is like, you know what? Why was I fearful of that? You know what I mean? Why did I have to have that alarm? So be aware when you look out, when you live your daily life, that you may see things better. Just notice old habits. And you're like, no, I'm going to retrain myself. Okay. Because now you look better. Now you look more aligned.
Mm-hmm.
And you're at the point where it's like, I can take whether what's happening here, I can come to balance. So I'm ready to have that next jump with you to see how you are, because you are in the academy and you are in. I'm ready.
Yes.
I feel I'm going to tell you, your posts have been great. You're even on your personal page. It's like I always look for some really great memes. It's far I've just been getting it off April's page.
I know. I see it. I'm like, oh, Brenda likes my post.
Oh, you're so inspiring. My gosh. I go there. It's like, oh, April. Oh, you're on fire.
Well,
oh, my God. You know?
Yeah, I started doing that because I don't like to see hate stuff or whatever on my page. So I put all the good stuff because I want to be in joy.
Me too.
That's my choice.
And then look at like-minded. All of a sudden, we just create this chain of events. I think I can't remember who else. Somebody says, I'm doing it too. April just got it. Well, I'm just going to go to April's page.
I have a question. When I was holding that R3S for my mom, my dad popped in, and my dad, they got divorced when I was 9. And then by the time I was 13 or 14, my dad did marry a 19-year-old, had 3 other kids, and then he left. And then I didn't see him until I was like 24. For 8 to 10 years, I did not see him. Nothing else just popped, just the thought of him like abandoning me or whatever. It just popped in, and that was it. That's the only
Yeah, and that's part of the arrested development. He's connected to the arrested development. And I says, can you give me any more? And they said, it has to do with getting paid attention to or not being paid attention to. But they said that there's some pictures. Now, I'm asking if I can find some of these pictures. They said not yet. When you start to recalibrate this healing today, get past that alarm, you'll start to probably begin to notice what you're thinking of, and then do your eye accessing. Begin to notice if there's a particular picture. Oh, yes. Then go in and do the eye accessing and get it down, because it's like it's like part of your imagination self, because you didn't have him around, created a story. Now, this is a big problem for a lot of people out there, is that they will create stories of a particular person, and they're going to say this, they're going to act like this. And when they actually show up, you're like, what the fuck? Because you're pissed because they're not matching what you imagined. Does that make sense?
I believe so.
Yeah. I've had people in my life that have created stories with me in it, and I wasn't physically, I was just in their imagination. And so then a year or two later, I will meet them and I'll talk to them. And then they're pissed that I showed up a certain way. And I'm like, wait a minute. I said, how? And I would see it. And I'd say, so how long have you been thinking about me being in your life or something? And they go, oh, yeah, I met you. I says, you met me? And then they're like, oh, you could see they're backing away because they know they never really physically met me. They had imagined it so much so that when I showed up, I was a great disappointment to them, because they had a picture of me, and then there was the actual me. Does that make more sense?
Yeah, I'm relating to something in my head, whereas you text a friend and they don't get back to you right away, and then you think, oh my gosh, they don't like me, they're mad at me.
That's why they texted me the other night with you. I couldn't understand that. I said, that's not me. I was like, oh, she didn't answer. And then I followed through with it, and the spirit goes, why'd you do that? And ego says, I don't know. And because I sat back going, but that's not me. And now you just brought it up. So it was connected. So I was supposed to go with that. Yes, that's connected. All right, let me look. You know what I'm talking about, right?
When you were texting me the other
Yeah,
day?
you were falling asleep on me.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
And you didn't respond right away. Now, I don't usually care. I mean, because I know people have a life and then they're sleepy and all this other stuff. But I kept noticing the feeling, and that lofty feeling that they don't like me. That's what you're supposed to look at.
It was like 1:30 in the morning here.
I know. That's why I was like, why am I doing that? I know that chick should be asleep, you know? Okay, so notice that right there. You made a response. You're looking for the answer. You didn't get it. And you go, and that answer is very lofty. Oh my God. And it'll drive you. Okay. Yeah. And then you go into making very indecisive thinking. That is what they're asking you to go at, because I'm asking, can you heal this yet? And they go, no, they need you to really get this, because that lofty of they didn't respond or whatever is very aggressive. Okay, so now you're going to go explore with spirit. Make sure you have your little handy dandy recorder or your paper and pencil, because we don't want to waste these moments. We want them to come as a whisper and not a bitch slap. Okay?
Right. Yes.
All right, so you got an adventure, girl. A couple, I think, but this one is very strong. Very good, very good. Okay. Oh, wait, I think the echo is also happening during the important parts. Kelly just observed how, you know how that echo of my voice comes in your room?
Yeah.
She notices it only comes when it's at a very important parts. Oh, that's cool. Good job, Kelly. So there's an emphasis, and one of the things when you begin to hear echoes, it's like, do you have to hear the echo of the past? Do you have to hear the echo of, so it intensifies. And if this loftiness, it has its own echo, it's going to intensify and you won't even know it. So become more aware of it. Thanks, Kelly. Thank you. Whew. Okay. Everything just shifted. I think you got the piece of information you were looking for.
I don't know, because I feel like that I'm still missing something.
Okay, notice that that can be a great destination issue. I'm missing something. I'm missing something. So it is focusing on that I'm missing something that you miss out on moving forward. This is linked to that insecurity, just to let you know. So you're missing something. Oh shit, I'm insecure. Those are connected. Remember how we're going to do clue finding and we're going to be on this adventure? That's one of them. And your insecurity says, if I can get her to feel I'm missing something, and really what it is saying, I'm insecure. Okay. Yeah. And yet I ask again, can we have something to hold? They go, no, she needs to really wake up to see this. Okay. And catch when it is.
I think it's because I ask and I say, Spirit, can you guide me or show me something? And then I don't see it. I don't, and then I go, wait, am I not doing this right? Or
okay, right
so
there,
then I'm
that's
doing my
insecure.
insecure. Yeah.
Yes, I'm not, and then you can go, wait a minute, that, remember, because it has a lofty voice and echoes back, that is insecure. Oh, I'm questioning myself. I'm doing that. You know, you go in and you really get and disrupt all of the meridians, so you won't have to keep breaking, because once you start to break that pattern, then we can break it down even further.
Yes, I've been doing this a lot.
Good, good, good.
I woke up ucky this morning. I don't know what this is, but I love myself.
Good, good. And they also said when you wake up in the morning, you may want to do the 4 thumps because your immune system wants to kick back. And the 4 thumps does help, and you can catch it on the website. And it helps to keep your body strong and gets the immune system to fight off and actually look at something and, oh, you're an enemy. I'm going to get ahead of you before you get ahead of me. And that's what you want the body to do. So the 4 thumps can be really helpful if you're around people that are sick. You start doing the 4 thumps quite a few times a day. Chances are you may or may not get it. And if you get it, it'll be way less because your immune system is going to be really on the ball. Yeah, all I can see is adventure. They're all happy back there. And you have sunflowers, all the smiling faces behind you. You're like, she's my sunflower girl. I swear to God. It's just, and then you've found some pictures of some pretty sunflowers, by the way. I thought, oh, that's cool.
Oh, I know. And then I'm going to see if I can get some of her seeds. She has a homestead close by, and those were on her homestead. And I was like, oh, do you have some seeds? So I'm going to try to grow some sunflowers this year.
Oh, I would love that. That would be so awesome. All right, my love, you're very good. I'm very proud of you. Each step is very important, okay? And you did started to feel a difference, correct?
Yeah, my chest and my stomach and my body feels much better now.
Good, good, good.
I still feel like that I need to explore, and I'm like,
yep, that's part of your adventure. That's part.
Yeah, and then I'm like, okay, where am I going? And so I'll investigate that.
Trust.
Yes.
Now, as long as you're doing that breathing and balancing, then you can actually allow yourself to train. It's the hardest part is to train. It doesn't have to be hard. Cancel. To see when spirit speaks, because they got it all the time. You just can't see it. But as soon as you start catching the first one, take a snapshot. You'll start to catch the next one because then you'll start to level up.
Yes.
Okay, you've got this. I know you do. I'm excited. I'll be excited to see what you write in the academy. All right. All right. I love you, honey. And thank you for honoring me. And you have a good night, darling.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Bye. Stay blessed. Now, Miss Vicky, I have to find out. Sharon, have you not seen the, I don't even know where Sharon is. I lost her. Shh. Ooh. Hold on. Did you want to come in or not? Time of the hours. Okay, so I have to find out where if you're coming in or not, Sharon, because I sent you the link. Now, Miss Vicky. Oops. I have to wait for the video to come back. I think that you got a message there. How are you doing? Because I'm watching you vacillate, going in, out.
It was like an 8, and then it went down to a 6, and then I got it down to a 3, and then it went back up to a 4. I think different pictures in my head.
Yes.
I have to get my cord.
And now I'm getting this scratchiness where it's like you had to learn how to bite back, how you had to learn to bark.
Yes.
My whole body, my truth you have to live somebody else's truth. And you're starting to know the difference where you don't have to live if you did, okay, so somebody says to you, this is the way you have to live, and now you're afraid to disappoint them. I just want to say, Erin says, I love you bunches, to Vicki. You know, you are such a wonderful and beautiful person. I am saddened that you are so sad and crying. I'm sending you so much love and light. Wrapped you up in big, warm, loving hugs. Just wanted to let you know that you have support going on here. Okay.
Well, that's sweet, but I'm not crying. I'm yawning. You know what? When I start healing, my nose starts running and my eyes water.
Really? Okay, so we have one more person coming in. Just let me take care of this real quick. Thank you, Erin.
Thank you, Erin.
Yeah, see, I didn't even see that. Okay, now tell me where you're at, my love.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. I'm at a 4.
Okay. Are you afraid to disappoint who?
Probably my father or my kids.
Yeah. When I look at the kids, it's a 9, and with your father, it's a 6. And I said, okay, so the disapproval, can you tell me more? Do you want her just to focus on disapproval? And they said, yes, but notice it's the outside disapproval. I need the outside approval. They want you to go to L3D because you do not want to be accused. It hurts, doesn't it? Because as soon as you get the person that you love is accusing you, oh, this isn't going to sound pretty, but I was your example.
What do you mean?
One of the videos that we did a while back, you thought I had said something and it wasn't true.
Oh,
but
yeah.
this is that accusing part, because they did do it. Whoever it is, I can't tell. I know you were about 5, but I'm wondering if like you were at school and a teacher said something and it wasn't true. I think they got you confused. Do you know what I mean? Like they called you out and it was supposed to be.
In first grade, I did do something. I stole a quarter, and it was a big brouhaha.
Oh.
And I did do it, but I lied about it for a long time, and it was. I still remember that day because it was. I finally admitted to doing it, but it was the only time my mother ever really stood up for me. And she stood up to me to the principal because they were just horrible to me.
Switch over to R3D. R3D, real quick. Switch over to R3D because at the same time you suppressed and you depleted and you're looking at yourself. Okay, now talk to me about it.
I stole a quarter out of somebody's desk and I went and bought candy at lunch. And then she told the teacher, and the teacher accused me of doing it because I was the only one in the room, and I was frightened and I lied about it. So then she accused me in front of the whole class, and then finally she took me to the principal, and the principal paddled me and then called my mom, and my mom came in and she did not like the principal. He was her principal and had paddled her before, and so she went after him.
Ooh.
And even though I did it, I didn't get in trouble. But it was the only time she really ever stood up for me. But then throughout my whole life, I've been accused of things that I didn't. Well, some I did, but a lot of things I didn't.
Okay, so there's a lot of confusion stuff there, and I feel like that's where that convoluted energy sits too. Because you want your mother's approval. You don't want just, you can see how it vacillates right there?
Yeah. Well, and I think it goes back to one time she accused me of doing something and I didn't tell the truth. And she said to me, well, just tell me the truth and you won't get in trouble. And so I told her the truth and then I got in trouble. And I said, but you told me I wouldn't get in trouble. And she said, well, I lied.
That's passive aggressive. So she used a lure and then was aggressive, yes?
Yes.
All right, look at the passive aggressive, because now you have to go to R3S, because this is where all of a sudden you feel very worthless. And I just have to say, Sharon, look at what I sent you, Sharon. I wrote to you. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Vicki.
I was just going to say, after that, if I did something, I never admitted to it because it just didn't matter. I was going to get in trouble anyhow.
Exactly. That's what you had to do. Now look at the maneuver of passive aggressive that you had to use, because you learned it from there, to use it on to survive in your life as you were as an adult. Yes, because part of you that wants to move to your intuitive side, this, they said that the passive aggressive has caused you to lean so much on ego that you can't get into the oh, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, to get into the spiritual aspect of it. Whoa. Okay, you're on it. Stay right there. We got two people that are trying to get in the room. For some reason, it's not working. Jesus, Vicki, this is sitting in your nerves big time.
Oh, my whole, this is, I've got to find the roots of it because my whole career as a property manager was that way. I just, for 25 years, you walk into a meeting and you get accused of all kinds of stuff.
Okay. Now, I just had to change a view real quick. So we're bringing in Rachel Lawson, but just voice only. And so you go ahead and Vicki, and you keep getting there. You're probably going to vacillate again, but feel how it wants to push you into action, Miss Vicki.
And I'm R3D.
They want you to go to L2S now because there's a lot of unfairness happening. Okay, Rachel, can you hear me, honey?
Hi, Brenda.
Hi, darling. How can I help you?
I've just been really unwell lately, very out of whack.
Whoa,
And
you have 8 frozen meridians, my love.
wow.
Holy crap, no wonder you fell out of whack. So can you see my screen?
I can see, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. We're going to take these and we're going to do this. So you'll have to get a magnet or use your hand, okay, whatever you choose to do. The first one they said that can really help, we got to get the heart or the pericardium around the heart to release. So we're going to do that one. Let me just find out. So
It's funny you mentioned that because one of my health issues has been pericarditis.
oh, wow. Okay, so it is completely frozen. So we're just going to take this one slowly. That's why we're going to take this slow. So you see right here, right in the middle of my, right here at the crick.
Yep.
You need to make sure you put your hand back and forth or use your magnet and flip it over. But we have to demagnetize that point, okay? Yep. And do that 12. Well, you're going to have to do it a little longer. Do 12 times. Do 12 times on this side, then come back and do 12 times on the left side. For some reason, that one seems more stuck. And then I'll test it. And then you go in after you're done, get in there and rub it. Get in there and rub it. And you can tell me whether it's sore or not too, because get in there and rub it.
Alrighty.
Yeah, this really plays an active role in this area. Wow. Okay, Spirit, I don't need to take on. Can you mute your TV?
Oh yeah, I can turn it off. Is that better?
Way better. Thank you very much, dear. Have you had a recent heartbreak, Rachel?
Yeah,
Because, man, my heart's broken.
yeah. My dad passed away.
Okay, that would make sense. Okay, because it wasn't a big shock, but it was, I can't live without my daddy type feeling.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that point is very sore actually on my left hand.
That's one that's the worst. Okay, good. Just take and be gentle with it.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly enough, it actually is starting to release because I'm actually feeling energy down to the circulation, down to my right leg now, which is better. Okay. That is improved greatly. We're going to go to your second one, which is the triple warmer, has also been frozen, and you're going to have to do the back. You see how it's just the opposite?
Yep.
Okay. Now do it all the way across. You can get in there and do that both sides, just like you did the other. Just take it easy with your breathing because it's changing. There's more oxygen for some reason starting to, because the triple warmer is learning to let go. Keep it going. Wow.
And do I rub that point as well?
Yep. Rub that point as well.
Sore as well.
It's been, yeah, it's huge. How long ago did you pass, dear?
Just on 12 months.
Okay, your body has been, yeah, your body has really been, wow. Yeah.
Not really grieved. Just holding it together for my son.
That's what I'm feeling right. Okay, just keep going because your immune system has turned into, towards myself, I have to be the strong one. Now it's making all my nerves feel funky doodle.
And it probably doesn't help that I'm also immune suppressed from medication from an autoimmune disease.
Yeah.
Okay.
That probably is why I'm looking at this broadcast. Okay. So when you're done with that, let me know. I'm going to have you do one more thing.
Yep, all done.
Okay, so you have a broadcast message that I'm lost. I'm lost. I'm lost. So you're going to take your hand and you're going to start here at your forehead. And you're going to do this just 3 times. And all you're going to say is broadcast message lost. Pick it up and put it back. Broadcast message lost. Do that 3 times. Broadcast message lost.
Broadcast message lost. Broadcast message lost.
Okay, good. That's diffused it. Ooh, very good. You're going to go down to your liver. Do you see how the 2 toes come together? The bones will come together to a point, and you're going to slide into the squishy part, and you're going to rub, and you're going to do both sides. You're going to do magnet first. Do the magnet or your hand first, then rub those 2 points.
On both feet?
Yes, both feet. Hey, Tammy Ann. I am not sure why Sharon is having trouble. Man, can you feel how that's changing the breathing too?
Yeah.
It's like the liver now gets to communicate with the stomach a little bit more. No, I'm just going to talk to Vicky real quick while you're rubbing. And Miss Vicky, how you doing, dear? Good. Okay, you're muted, so I can't quite hear you, but I think I see you.
There. I'm okay.
You're getting close to getting this one down and actually not vacillating as much. Have you noticed?
Yes.
But one of the things you can't break through is that energy that it's about manipulating. It's like, this is what you're supposed to do, is manipulate people. This feels like it's part of that bloodline I was telling you about, that encoding. And your mind has got to let go of the fact that it has to do that to get what it wants. Now, this is where the ego goes, yeah, but it's fun. I get what I want. How do I do it differently? And then this is where you're just going to have to employ Spirit and say, thank you, Spirit, for showing me a new way. Thank you, Spirit. Because there's a part of you that it's brand new. Your brain, it can't light up to getting that new answer for yourself. And this is where, when you start to see it, you don't need to have the flying bitch lap. You can start to do it slowly. And when you see one at a time, and Spirit's going to make it work for you. You just have to notice, do you need to be overbearing? So how you'll begin to define manipulating. How can you talk without having to use that behavior? Because I will tell you, Vicky, the energy is higher now, and it's not that kind of behavior cannot really go into the next energy field. And this is where more issues are going to come up for a lot of people. And so just see it as it's lofty and bullying. Do we tolerate bullying anymore? Is bullying part of our protocol and dogma anymore? In this, so that's how you can address it. They still do want you to stay into L2S because it's a lot of unfair feeling. Okay.
Yeah, the industry I was in, and then also in business, when you're, I hate to say this, but when you're successful in business, you manipulate situations to your advantage.
Yes. And you got really good at that, what was once part of that Pisces era. And now you're supposed to take the gems from it and learn how to be a different human, because it's about being in a spiritual human. It's about letting you be you without having that old tactics and dogma. So it's just learning how to unlearn something and relearn something. All right, Rachel.
Yep.
We need to have you go to lung. And they said what they want you to do is that go make sure you go across all three, because you got 3 points here. So make sure you do that whole wrist and go all the way across. Do it 12 times. But when you come back to rub, you just rub under the thumb. And this is so the air can start flowing more properly.
It's funny, everything you've mentioned so far with the immune, like my liver functions deranged and I had an embolism on my lung. So.
Whoa. Okay. Well, we're going to get these energies moving again and get it to the point where the immune system and everything is supposed to work together and heal you. Yeah, that really shocked you, that death. Keep going. You're doing good. Can I ask you, as you're doing that, you know what's popping up is there was a hidden manipulation. And I says, what, did she do that to other people? And they go, no. People did that to you. meaning they manipulated you, but you didn't know it. So it was hidden manipulation. Does this make any sense?
Is that me?
Rachel, it could go for you too, because it's both strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Because they said this is such a
I didn't
habit.
at the time, but now it's all sort of come out.
Good, because when you're rubbing that spot, that's what's coming up and out of it. They said now you're going to be able to start noticing the conditioning, and basically you had to get frozen in your tracks. That would make sense. All right, so when you're done rubbing those sides, let me know.
Yep, all done.
Now, what's funny is that those main ones, we didn't even get to all 8 because those main ones actually released those other 3, so let energy back in. So they weren't really frozen. Now, we have to look at how you were compelled with that hidden manipulation to correct yourself and to behave a certain way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, this habit, one of the things it did was very lofty on you. So that's when your immune system became very suppressed because that energy would invade your space. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, yeah. And
then your immune system became that. So I'm asking Spirit, how do you want her to heal? And they said, have you hold L to S, left wrist, second position, nice and soft.
Yeah.
And they want you to notice how you have a great fear of being controlled. Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay, so get this number nice and high for me, please. Vicki, you look good. Tell me where you're at.
About 3 to 4. The hidden.
That's funny. Okay, because see, when I measured it overall, it went down to 0, but then that last part jumped back up when I was talking about to Rachel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's where we're at now. Because notice that's when you contracted your energy in and you had to put on like a bully suit, or you had to put on that thing your mother told you had to do. And at the same time, you're like, but I don't want to.
Ask Spirit if it was hidden manipulation, my father and my husband, through jokes.
Yes. 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 Good job. Good job. Yes. Very good. Miss Sharon, she finally made it in. Woohoo. All right, so we're going to ask her to turn on her mic, and if she wants to turn on her video, she is more than welcome to. There you go. Can you hear me, Sharon?
Yep, I can hear you.
And do you want your video on or not?
Sure.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to ask you to turn it on. There you are, darling.
Took me a while, but I finally got here.
Yes, and you made it, see? And that's the thing. That's a good, important thing. So how can I help you?
Whatever's up tonight.
What are you petrified about?
Petrified?
You think things over.
Not sure.
Okay.
Not making it on my own, I guess.
That could be it. That could be it. Let me just look up the word. So just so let you know, Lisa, I have sent you a link. And I'm going to look up the word if I can find the right page. Where'd it go? I've lost it. There we go. And so it's important to look up things. And so petrified is frightened that one is unable to move. Okay.
Okay.
Do you feel at any point that you felt like you could not move and do something? And I feel like your body's been displaying this for the last, say, 7 months is what I can see. It started off and like, is that true?
Feels like it.
Okay, because it's random. It's all over and then it's there and then it stays there and then it goes all over. I don't know what that means. Okay, so you've been having issues with the shoulder or the knees?
Yeah. The right shoulder and sometimes my hips, but more often the right shoulder than anything else anymore. And the the muscle between the shoulder bone and the elbow felt like it ripped a couple weeks ago lengthwise.
Yeah.
I heard it and felt it, but it's getting better.
Do you take chondroitin or what's the other one called? Joint medicine. Do you take joint medicine or vitamins, minerals? I can't remember what it's called.
I take some vitamins and minerals, but not those.
Okay, you need to have deliberate joint medicine. I know the chondroitin is the one. Help me, people. I can't remember the normal one is. Well, I'll remember it and I'll tell you. But you have been greatly discouraged by the world.
Right, everybody.
Not
everybody. You haven't.
Okay, a little L1D because that's what we're going to do because you're addressing that severed love finally. So feel greatly discouraged and you're going to go left wrist, first position, nice and deep. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Right, you do that. And then Rachel, what do I have you working on? Because you just shifted to hystericalness inside your body, but
the LTD.
okay, can you
Just
feel
the control?
Yeah, do you feel this? Because you're hysterical. You're like, your whole body's like going, I vividly am recalling a very strong incident. Is that true?
Yeah. And
Okay,
it's like
breathe it through. Breathe it
roller
through. Breathe it through because I'm watching the pericardium again trying to close off and but you're not letting it and I'm not letting it. So okay. All right, Sharon, make sure you put it on your head. Put your hand on your head.
Okay.
Then rest your arms. Don't get tired. Good God. Okay, just take your time. Breathe it through, Rachel. You're going to be fine. We're going to go back to Sharon.
Gotten really hot and started sweating.
Good. Just breathe it through because the body's trying to process all those chemical peptides that it couldn't do. Sharon, you really got to notice how you see them as enemies. Enemy, 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 enemy.
See who?
Everybody. Well, not me.
Man. Well, not you.
Because they're discouraged. They make you discouraged. That's how you severed your heart. That as far as I cannot let my heart. It didn't help with the last the last marriage or last relationship or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I can see you putting up that wall. You're like, no. Glucosamine. Thank you, Erin. I knew somebody knew. Glucosamine and chondroitin. Okay.
Okay.
Look into that. And officially, I have to say, please talk to your doctor.
I need to change doctors too.
Okay.
Because I stopped believing in this one about 3 years ago.
Well, okay. Why are you still hanging on? Go find a holistic doctor or something.
That's what I found one, but I haven't had enough nerve to call him yet.
All right. Because you're greatly discouraged. And yeah, we're going to get you through that. Yes. Put the number of scale of discouraged. Because it's funny. She puts her hands on head. She's like, I know discouraged, but can you even think it? Because I feel like you're like, I can't do this. This is too much fun being here. Take your hand down for me, young lady, and tell me, can you talk about discouraged without putting your hand up?
Yeah.
Okay. Now notice the moment we try to put your hand up, you don't want to because that's your safety net. So I don't believe in removing safety nets or safety blankets. They're saying that they want you to notice how, okay, your whole body's going nuts now. Suppressed. What's suppressed? I suppressed myself. Why? Oh, you suppress the importance of yourself. I'm not important. You said that you're willing to address that. Okay, fine. I'll let my happiness go. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? Right wrist,
Yep.
second position, nice and deep. Put that on a scale from 0 to 10. And then Lisa, we got audio. Can you hear me, Lisa? I don't think so. So Vicki, you're pretty much down there. You measure it and you tell me where you're at, darling. I can't hear you because your mic's off, Vicki.
A 2 or a 1.
Okay. I feel like you could be on this one for a while because you have to look at the passive aggressive. You really got to get in the depths of this. And then you're going to do some homework. Okay.
Okay.
Because that part of you is like, I got to vacillate because I want to keep it, but yet I can't. And I know I got to. Does that make sense?
Somebody else that
Yeah, I just
echoed
muted.
there.
Yeah, I just muted. Just know that that's a sign that there's an echo of how your ego just wants you to constantly be focusing on the past.
Okay,
Okay.
so what's my homework?
On learning what passive aggressive it is, when you do it, when others do it, and do you have to fall for it? Do you need it anymore? And your ego's going to argue. And then you're going to hold R3S because you can't get to the self-efficacy. Go look up what a self-efficacy is, and it's about that end result. And notice somebody distracted you and basically made you feel like crap, so you couldn't get the results you were looking for. So you took the back door of doing it through manipulation and other stuff. And you're like, you don't want to do it anymore that way. Okay. So do you understand your instructions?
That was pretty fast.
R3S.
Okay, R3S, self-efficacy, distracted me. So
with self-efficacy, one of the things is that you're creating something beautiful. And let's say I took some clay, made a horse, somebody come along and told me how ugly that was. And it hurt so deep that I said, no, I'm never going to be creative again. And threw it away. So I cut this part of myself out. And so you found a new way, which was through passive aggressive. But you never really did get your end results that you want for yourself through a very creative way. Make sense?
yes.
All right, so you got some homework to do. You're on an adventure as well. And I know you can do it because I watched you do it before and I have that faith in you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for honoring me and yourself. And it's a pleasure always working with you. And thank you so much. Stay blessed. Okay, so now Lisa, hopefully the feedback, there's no noise and no TV as well. So let's try to see if we can get this to work. I'm going to ask you to unmute. There we go. So I can hear myself in the background. Can you mute me? The feedback, there's no noise and no TV as well. So all right, let's try to see. All right, so we can see you. I got to figure out how to talk to you so I don't have to hear myself. The video, do you have me up? Watch my video. The feedback, there's no noise. And hold on. I'm going to mute you. I want you to look at the video that's playing. And I want you to mute that. And I want you to come to the Zoom room. Okay, can you, because there's two videos open, one of me in the Zoom room, and it'll look like a blue camera or a blue background with a white camera in it. Do you see maybe at the bottom bar or wherever you have it? And then you got a browser open that has my show on. That's what I want you to mute or close that browser. Here, you must have done it. Can you talk to me now?
Lordy,
I hear you.
why won't this open?
Oh, now you can't see me, but I can hear you.
There we go.
Hi. Okay. How can I help you?
Okay. I can't hear you
Oh,
in
no.
the Zoom room. What is going on? I muted it, but I can't hear you.
All right. Let's see. Can you see this?
I had my mic plugged in. Sorry about that.
Okay. So you got it now? Okay. So now I can't hear you. You got to turn that up a little bit so I can hear you. I think this is a sign, kids. What do you think?
Dude, this is horrible. Yeah, I'm using my mic on my computer, so I don't know. How
All
to
right.
What the? Huh. I'm so used to using this thing.
Ah,
I came in on my computer mic. Yeah.
gotcha. I can hear you enough. I don't know if anybody else in the room. Are you okay in the room to hear her?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so tell me what it is I can help you with.
Right now I'm having some lower back pain, but I know a lot of it's this chair.
Lower back pains because of the chair. Well, we can blame the outside or not
know.
moving physically. But you have a lot of, they said, muddled instability. So our body's looking for safety, security, and stability. And when that floor begins to become unstable, we get very muddled. They said what caused you to feel very muddled is that you have, so do you deal with depression at all?
I do take some medicine for that, yep.
Yes. So they said that that's where they want me to go. And as I look, they're saying that there's a part of you that gets very self-conscious, feeling naked. People are looking at you. Do you know what I mean? You feel very self-conscious. Okay. So they're saying that this is what makes you depressed.
Oh, okay.
They said that there's a lot of, I can't control how people see me, what they think. Okay. So I'm being 7 years old and you just have been living in your reactionary response of fear. And have you been longing for something?
Yeah, I'd like my husband to be able to retire. Oh,
Okay.
Rachel,
you okay?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have to spotlight this, I think.
Okay.
Now how can I do this? No. Okay. So I don't know why your screen does it, but anyways, try to make sure you can hear me.
Okay.
Your longing for this is actually also part of why you have muddled instability.
Yep.
And it's holding down in the lower part of your back. 1, because of money. 2, the relationship of communicating and doing this. So that's brave of you to come on if you have that.
Yeah.
Being self-conscious, that's huge. But it's the overwhelm because you've grown since age 7 to the point where you have it, but you don't have it. It's like you consciously yeah, whatever. You've kind of like grown past it, but yet your body's going, oh no, we haven't, woman.
I know it.
Oh, good. So you know what I'm talking about. Excellent.
Totally.
Now, what they're saying is your circadian rhythms are off. So now my body says it's to do with lung and bladder. So between 3 to 5 a.m. or 3 to 5 p.m., do you notice like in the middle of the night you can't sleep, or do you feel like during the day? Okay. So your circadian rhythms, your body is wholly agreeing that it has issues with self-consciousness and longing. Mm-hmm. So far we're right on track. Okay. Your whole body's like going nuts right now. It's saying I have to take the inferior position and let everybody else be superior to get their own way because they're mamby-pamby buttheads. That's what your little self is saying. And she's like, I'm going to hold this grudge because I'm not letting it go because that's all I have. So does this make sense to you?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I'm on here. It's like, I know I need to be a little
All right, since you know your story, I want you to grab your left wrist, first position, nice and soft, and notice that all the efforts you do is unreceived. I do all the shit and everything's unreceived. Raise your hand a little higher so I can see. Yeah, and now notice your thumb is on the side. Bring it more towards the front. Not in the middle, but more towards the edge. There it is. That's it. That's it. Yeah. Yes, nice and soft, nice and soft. Now put it like this. Oh, those efforts are unreceived. I'm self-conscious. Oh my God, I long for him to retire. Ah! Okay, just go into all that. Get it nice and high. Yeah, mamby-pamby buttheads.
Did I literally say that?
That's what I heard. You're like, I'm holding my grudge. You little mamby-pamby buttheads. Yeah, I see the little girl in front of me. She's determined. Now, as you do that, get your number nice and high. The worse, the better. Focus on whatever comes up. We'll go to Sharon real quick. Can you feel that worthlessness now that you're ready to deal with? You need to go to R3S because then your body wants to go in lockdown. R3S, right wrist, third position, nice and soft. Good job, Sharon. Miss Rachel.
Yeah.
You have a lot of impending doom. I mean, it's yelling at me. It's like, oh my God, impending doom. I mean, it's yelling at me, and it's like you have vivid dreams. And I ask, are they like sleeping dreams? No. Are they dreams of imagination? Yes. So sometimes do you just worry and fear impending doom?
Yeah.
Are you suspicious of everybody?
Definitely.
Yeah, my heart is just a pounding. My pericardium is like messing with my heart right now. So I asked Spirit, where do you want her to hold? And they says, well, you got to look at how your will is being aimed for that. They want you to hold left wrist, third position, nice and soft.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to focus on that. Get it up there. Man. Vision. Okay, I'm going to mute you, Rachel, because your TV's on. I hope you're not watching TV, young lady. And if I have to say that, it's because your father's present. I muted her, so I... Okay. Why is it important we get the number nice and high? Because if they have to think of their health, why do they have to think of their health? Don't they want out of it? Yes, but you're using the tool. See where their hand is? Their innate wisdom and them are working together to release the chemical peptide buildup. These are emotions, and we're going to release them out. As we transformation out, that clarity begins to happen because the blood and the energy and the magnetism and the electrical will all start to function again, and you can start having a clear brain. The hand of that position on the forehead, because you create reality right here. If 80% of that is going into fight, flight, freeze, fawn, you're just going to keep repeating a loop. With the hand there, which your electromagnetic hand, your hand is now connecting with the electromagnetic blood. So even if I didn't think anything, my body's innate is going to bring the blood to the forebrain where it belongs. Aaron is rooting for you, Sharon. Let's see if I can get this up. I'll read it to you in just a second. Sharon, I want you to know you're super awesome. You don't have to feel worthless. You are special to me, along with everyone here. You are worthy. You are worthy of the love and the light you can get.
Thanks.
Yeah. Nice support. Look at Lisa, with her self-consciousness. Now, she's trying to stare at me because she's listening, but she's also very self-consciousness, and her whole little self is tattling on her right now.
It's funny.
It is. But she doesn't think I can catch her, but I've been watching her going, you're cute, Lisa. You guys are amazing. And I appreciate all of you that are watching and sharing and growing. And it's very helpful when we can help people to mentally, emotionally, and spiritually be able, and physically, to be able to have some form of control and not have to go into fear anymore. It makes a big, big difference. Okay. that's not too bad. And they got me going through all three. You're mirroring me all at once, or I'm mirroring you, whatever. You're all both, whatever. I'm sending love to you. And I'm like, how am I even keeping this track? And they go, you don't have to. We are. I said, yeah, you're right. Aaron says, Lisa, you're just so adorable. You're letting the little girl shine. Ooh, who is in contempt? Which one of you have, oh, Rachel. Can you feel? Whoa. Oh no, we're going to Sharon. Holy crap. My stomach just went into a, okay, so we have to define contempt. It's like beneath you. It's like, oh God. Okay, so you have to get that facial expression too. Oh God. What, all three of you doing this? Because you know, I watch these videos back and I laugh my head off because I'm like, who in the world in their right mind would make those faces? Apparently I'm willing to. Oh, wow. Who just did the shiver? Oh, it must have been, who is that? Rachel, that's what I thought. Rachel, talk to me, honey. How are you feeling? I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Yes. Okay. All those points on the left arm have just gone white. Yeah.
So did you take the
Sorry.
blame for everything in order to survive?
I wouldn't say take the blame, but I carried all the weight on my shoulders.
Okay. Okay. And then it turned into overtime hopelessness, yes?
Yes.
Because it's like, no matter what, it's always going to be the same answer. It's overtime hopelessness. Now,
Yeah.
feel how heavy that is. Because it goes to rejection. How do you know rejection?
How do I know it? Probably from school.
And are you best friends with that rejection? I mean, this happens to be something you see in your life, rejection. Oh, you got older and it looks like invalidation now.
Yeah, it's sort of, I don't see it as rejection anymore because it was like schoolyard stuff.
That's huge in you. A part of you needs to start defining this because you lost a great amount of energy. And they said that you have got to get to this stage where you, does anybody ever call you stubborn?
All the time.
Okay, so there's a difference between stubborn and changing something for your own good, and then somebody's calling you stubborn because they can't force you to obey.
Yeah, that's right.
Which one? Both?
Yes, they call me stubborn because I won't, I guess, how would you put it? I won't conform to what they want or what they expect or say
Good.
what they want me to say.
Good. And that's what you've like, yeah, this is where I'm at. This is why when you want to deal, okay, that's why you have to heal rejection and validation, but you can't get there until you're like, you know what? I'm so tired of you telling me that I'm stubborn. And you know what they're doing. You've gotten much stronger, but they're saying that there's a part of you that you have to begin to let go of that feeling. Okay, it's sensation. You know, that's what you want because it's fixed in front of your eyes. And you're saying, I'll be damned if I'm going to let you control me again. Because
Yeah.
you can see how unfair it is.
Yeah. And that comes back to a work situation also where I wore all the responsibility and I asked for help and I didn't get it. And it left me in that place, like you said, of hopelessness.
Oh, God. Okay.
Where now I'm at the point where I'm not going to be angry at them anymore for that because it's a waste of my energy, but I still feel, I guess, content or I don't even know.
So we're going to go back to where these snapshots of where some of these begin. So you need to go to L2S left wrist, find that second position. Put your thumb down in the second position soft, okay?
Yeah. Yep.
What I need you to address was what we just talked about, but there is this, I reject that out of my reality.
Okay.
That shit happened to you. I reject that. I mean, do you understand?
Yep. Perfectly.
Okay.
Yep. Makes sense.
All right, remember, get it
You
nice.
might have to mute me again because my
Okay, no
child's
problem.
following me around with his iPad.
That's okay. I'll do that. Not only do that, I reject this reality, but also take a look at how it's unfair. Unfair. They're connected. Lisa, your little one is content. I don't know. She doesn't seem like she's holding that grudge as strong either now. So how you feeling, Lisa?
I'm good.
You're good. Yeah, you feel much better. So now notice that what toward yourself is this broadcast message that you have to be aggressive toward yourself. And they said that you, so do you do that for number one? Do you become aggressive with your way you talk to yourself as a way to suppress yourself?
Not aggressive. I just sometimes I feel like, why am I doing this? I give up.
Okay, no, there's another way of doing it. That's saving yourself. They're really pointing out that you said toward yourself, and you have to resonate with people in the room. Okay, you have to match them. And they said when you did that, okay, so you become very self-conscious, and then you were repulsed by some people. Oh, interesting. Okay, hold on. Your energy just says, ooh. Okay, but you may not catch it mindfully. So I'm trying to figure out where you're going with this. And they said you suppressed it in order to survive, to be in that space. You suppressed it. So you would put up with shit because that's the way life is, man. You know. Does this make sense? You're just okay, fine. You put up with it.
You mean like in my life in general? Oh yeah, I'll suppress stuff because it's not worth
Okay. And they're saying, well, here's the thing. It may not be worth it, but you got to stop doing that because it's affecting your body.
It's true. Yep. Because I don't like confrontation. Yep.
Exactly. So you're going to hold L2D and do what you just said. L2D. So left wrist, second position, push in deep. Make sure the thumb goes down to the second. Now you got it. There you go. Down just a little bit more. That stop. Oop, go up just a tiny bit. Up. That stop. There you go. And look at your words. Feel it. You got to get it out. You're going to need to measure this. You literally are going to have to confront it and look at it and give me a number.
I'm belching a lot. That's for sure.
Good. We want that to pass.
Yeah.
See, you can't even get your finger on it, but you know it's there.
Yeah.
All right, keep focusing on it. I know it's at a 7, but keep focusing on it until it's gone. Sharon, how are you doing, dear?
Okay.
I feel like your security is that if you build a wall around yourself, you won't have to feel that muddledness. Is that true? Because they're going to accuse you. They're going to accuse me anyway.
The wall is full of Swiss cheese holes.
All right, you ready to go to L3D, left wrist, third position? If you're already there, then okay, but left wrist, third position, push in deep. Feel the fear of the accused, because you can hear it in their little voices. I hear you. Notice that it draws those people closer to you to treat you that way.
That's why I try to hide.
Yes.
So they don't see me. I'm invisible. Not.
That's interesting you say that. Yeah, keep noticing because you're like the fear of being seen because they're going to do it again to me.
Yep.
And this
I
is like a
don't
phobia.
don't talk, don't want to be seen.
Exactly. It's like a phobia because
I'm invisible. Don't look at me.
that's probably why I can't catch you sometimes and want to talk to you because I'm like, I don't know where she's at. Because you're cloaked. You'll come to my mind and I'll like, oh, I'm gonna, and then I can't remember who I was gonna type.
Oh,
It makes more sense now because you disappear. Okay, so you have a type of a phobia. So what I need you to do is visually.
I don't
see.
know why it started or where it started.
Okay, but the phobia is there's a certain amount of having to see the thing that scares you the most. In this
Oh.
case, it's the contrast, the confrontation, the way that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So get into that, stay in that contrast and stare it down. Notice what scares you the most. You can smell it, nah, that ain't it. You can hear it, nah, it's not much. But when you visualize or see the confrontation, the contrast, does that bother you?
It's like they remind me of piranhas.
There you go. Stare that down. Stare the piranhas down. Aaron says to Rich, rah-rah. The song, These Boots Are Made for Walking. He goes, that's your song. I love it. Never feel you have to conform to someone else's view or what they want you to do or be. You walk to the beat of your own drum. Celebrate your own walk. You are beautiful the way you are. See, and I like to teach the tribe in the academy that we have to learn to walk sacred and talk sacred. And Aaron says to Lisa, I could never imagine any situation where Lisa Huber, anyone would have a confrontation with you because you're so cute and adorable. I agree. You are always super wonderful and always compassionate on how others feel. You always word things in such a kind and compassionate way so as to not hurt anyone else's feelings. And that's part of the fawning, like fight, flight, freeze, fawning.
That's sweet. Thank you, Aaron.
No, she said thank you, Aaron, because you barely hear you, but I caught that one. Now, we're going to notice, Sharon, I want you to just cover one eye for me. Which eye do you want to look at? There you go. Look out that eye, the other eye, and look at these people and see how that contrast is. Can you see them? All I can hear is fuckers. All right,
I don't say that, so why is that?
I know, that's why it came out of my mouth. You're welcome. On a scale from 0 to 10, what number is it?
8.
Yes. Now remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes for me. Now look at him again. Is it still an 8, higher or lower, or what? Ooh, seething.
Maybe a 9.
Oh, it is higher, yeah. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. Look at him again. Is it true?
6.
Yeah, and there's one person in particular that's coming more and more clear. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. Look at him. What number is it?
5.
Good. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. When you're looking, what number is it?
4.
And who is it? Can you see him yet?
Well, the one person retired last month, so that one's not there anymore.
Okay. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Take your power back and switch eyes. What do you see?
A yellow haze.
All right. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes.
Does that mean a pissy?
Yeah, that you lost a lot of your personal power. Yes. All right, look at it. Do you need to see this? Keep looking and staring it down. What number is it?
2.
Take your power back, remove, transcend, let it go. Switch eyes. As you bring your power back, your body's going to feel better. Look at it again. What number is it?
3.
Good. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. Can you see anything?
Maybe a 1.
Good. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. And what do you got now?
Nothing.
Good, good. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes.
Nothing.
Excellent. Take your hand down. Do you feel different? No, you got the idea that these people have lofty and that they can do this to you and they're very malevolent. Hold L1S. Left wrist, first position, soft. And since Lisa's getting attacked with her cat, well, cozying up. That's cute. All right, Rach. Talk to me, honey. I'm going to unmute you or I'll ask you to unmute anyway.
Yep.
Now talk to me, Rachel. Do you feel better?
I do. I think I feel like I can't get past the unfairness and like injustice of it.
Yes. Yes, because you've seen what it's done to you.
Yeah.
Now, did you happen to see Sharon as she was covering her eyes?
Yeah.
I want you to choose an eye, please.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to trust that you're doing this, but I want you to feel that deep-seated pain and look at how that unfairness that you can't get past it. Stare at it. Can you get a number?
9.
Okay, remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. Cover up the other eye.
Mhm.
Review it again. Who I hear is dirty, rotten scoundrel. So keep looking at what number you got.
8.
Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes. Now,
Yep.
this is where you want to take action or don't want to take action. I can't tell, but what number you got?
6.
Okay, now we're just going to ask that the super consciousness treat the brain, treat the brain, treat the brain. And now I want you to switch eyes.
Yep.
Okay, and as your body starts to be in balanced, what number is it?
6.
Good. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Now begin to take your power back and stop matching them. You do not have to give them what they want. Take your power back, take your power back, take your power back. Take their shit off of you. Take that shit off of you. Put it into the treasure chest. They don't get it back. That's their karma. Just take that shit off, put it in the treasure chest. Keep doing it. Remove, transcend, let it go. Switch eyes.
Yep.
All right. Now measure with your eye. What do you got?
4.
Good. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes and notice that they like to use their aggression. Just say, no, ain't gonna work. Imagine that you drew a line in the sand and they hit a brick wall. They can't cross it. They are losing power because you're taking your power back. Now measure with your eye.
3.
Remove, transcend, let it go. Switch eyes. Listen to the bullshit story. Say, you know what? I'm going to put earplugs in or I'm going to take out the lies. Transform
The lies
lies.
is a big part of it.
Yeah. Just pull it out, man. Release that shit. Like taking a big dump. Get it out. Let it go. Let it go. Now remove, transcend, let it go. Switch eyes.
Yep.
What do you see?
2.
Good. Now, I want you to feel your body and have your body measure it. What number is it?
Through my whole body, still like a 7.
Good. Now look to the lower right. What number is it now?
4.
Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Take and just switch your eye and look to the left. You keep that one covered, but look to the lower left and listen to the dialogue. As you're looking at it, just listen. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Look to the upper left. Look at the remembrance. As you do that, now switch eyes.
Yeah.
As you're still looking up to the upper left, what number do you have?
2.
Now take that thing that was inside your body. As you pull it out, you're going to look to the lower right. What number do you have?
0.
Now feel your body. Does your body have any in it?
Still probably about a 3.
Okay, now notice this is like your conditioning. This is what your social conditioning. This is what you're supposed to have. Oh, we're going to remove, transcend, let it go, let it go. Switch eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That thing that was in your body, notice that you don't who put it there and just pull it out, throw it in the trash, throw it to the treasure chest, get it out, and then take your power back. Take your power. Now notice the color you need to take back because you believe their lie. Remove, transcend, let it go, let it go, let it go. Let's go back over to the other eye. What number do you have?
2.
Now we'll feel your body.
2.
Now notice that this is where you want to stop because I want it to 0. There's a part of you that like something has to switch, and I think you have to have this played out, okay? Because there was a part of you that had rejected yourself or rejected something because of bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the bitterness to which we have to address, but it's the way the body is saying that it's been so trained. So this is where I'm going to ask you to grab a golden white light cord above your head. You're going to connect one end to your heart, and you're going to connect the other end to your issues. Ask the issues, do they accept this?
No.
Good, that's fine. And you leave that golden white light cord there because they're saying that this has to do with a traumatic event.
Yeah.
And this has to do with the hammer hurt inside. It means your brain marked something. This one takes longer than usually one session. But I need you to become aware when your body panics. Does it need to panic? And you can realize that when your body panics, your right brain goes into an active memory. So how you're going to balance this, if you can begin to notice the panic, I want you to catch it, and then I want you to say right brain, and then you're going to go on the right side only.
Yeah.
You're going to go down to your right foot. Now you're going to follow the second toe up until it hits a ledge. It'll be like right here. And then you're going to take and you're going to rub that 30 times. Okay, and stop and then rub it again. You need to do at least 3 rounds of energy there. You become completely unearthed and unbalanced, and we need to get you to come back into the body. And then that should balance your right brain. And to top it off, they want you to just think right brain, grab your right hand right there where the 2 bones meet and fall into the squishy. That's the point.
Yeah.
Okay. Do a couple of rounds with those two. You need to get the body balanced. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you felt like, can I just say you wanted on here so bad and you felt a certain way. Could you kind of tell us how bad it was?
At the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Before you even got on.
But like in 10.
And then were you crying? Were you upset? Were you physically in pain? What was going on?
All of the above.
How do you feel now?
I feel tired. I feel thirsty, but I also don't feel tense anymore. I feel like I'm not grinding my teeth. I'm not clenching all my muscles. I don't have a headache.
Good. So there is a difference. Make sure you do drink water because when we are stressed, we like to burn up a lot of water and we like to burn up a lot of B vitamins. Now, again, you're supposed to talk to your doctor about vitamins, but just understand stress, B vitamins, and stress. Get some rest because your nerves were just so taxed. And now we need to get you to relax and so that it can start to repair itself. When you sleep is when the immune system is meant to repair itself. But your immune system has felt like the outside. It doesn't feel like it's being attacked. It's still stuff we have to work on, but we put a hold on having to really get worse. So that means you need to become more dedicated to taking care of yourself. And you really got to know what panic is. So that's part of your homework. Okay.
Yep. No worries. And
Thank
can
you
I
so-
watch this over again and do this each
Yes.
day for a little while?
Yes, you just make sure you get, I will have it up in YouTube, but not yet right away. So go down into the fan page under videos, you'll be able to find it again.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Brenda.
Thank you for honoring yourself and me, you know, and thank you so much. And please stay blessed. Okay.
You too.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Sometimes that can be very hard to go through things, especially when your body's kicking your ass. Sharon, how are you doing?
I did okay. My arm and my fingers kind of went numb, so I had to move.
Yeah, that makes sense. It makes sense. Now you've got to decide, tell me how you feel, because right now you're like, I don't want to bring my energy out. It's not safe. So you have
That's how I feel a lot during the work day.
Yes. Now you're going to have to understand your thoughts will control the emotion, the energy with your aura. When you go in, you immediately have it come in. The pain is because it's going inside. That's not where your aura lives. It lives out here. Okay. And when that energy goes inside, it can cause pain. So you're going to have to become more mindful that you can feel safe and push out. You're going to need to feel like maybe watch some superhero movies or whatever, that you can push your energy out, and it's got the shields up. You know, I put up a meme today. I said, bullshit shield up.
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to have to practice that your thoughts, even though you may be doing that, you do not have to train your body to do this. So catch yourself, and do your best to think loving thoughts to go out. You don't have to send it to the people, but just kind of like decorate inside your aura. You know, put some crystals here, crochet something there, have your kitty in the corner. But this is your aura. Put your bullshit mirror so it faces out. So when they start to send bullshit, it bounces off and hits them like a fan. Okay?
That'd be good.
Imagination. You know how good you are with it. We've talked about that before. Now to employ it for yourself, young lady. I know you can do it. And it's just the little girl inside that's like going, but go talk to her. We need to have more sessions instead of once every so often. We're going to have to figure out some way so we can get you back on track to keep you going. Okay?
Right.
And when you start to have pain, oh, hold on, what do you want her to do? Your right brain goes out because your right brain has a hidden agenda.
Yeah.
And when you do this and you start to have pain, they want you to hold right wrist, first position, nice and soft. And they want you to imagine you're taking a crap, which means, oh my God, that pain. And then feel the intensity of that pain. And as you're holding, it literally can feel like it's releasing. Okay, you got to practice releasing. It's not serving you in any form.
Okay.
Okay, so you've got this. All right. Oh, I forgot to tell. Remember, everybody in all things, even if I forget, finger in the belly button and the forehead, smile, chin up. This is shields up. You got it. And thank you so much, Sharon, for being here. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for honoring me as well. And we'll talk to you soon. All right, darling?
All right. Thank you much.
All right. Stay blessed. Okay, me and you, Lisa. Look how cheery you are. She's so blessed cheery. Okay. Tell me how you feel.
Wonderful.
Good. Different. Can you, what you came in for and where you are now, you can feel a difference?
Yes, I really can. Like, I thought I was going to fall asleep. I was so comfortable.
Oh, that's what healing can do, is make you very comfortable. Good.
It felt great. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right. Now you can keep this. Don't let your ego make you go back to sleep. You can feel this good. You can do this healing on your own as well. You know, EFT helps great. OMG helps great. But you eventually are going to have to address that longing, because the longing has a lot to do with what the aches and pains are. And it stops you from expanding because it keeps you right where you are. but you've over-identified with longing for such a long time that you can't manifest it to come to pass. To help you heal, what you're going to do is you're going to do this on your own, but you got to catch when you long. You got to catch, because it's not just one thing. You actually apply it to other things.
Okay.
You're going to need to do R3S. So you're going to write down R3S, and that's that right wrist. And you're going to go 1, 2, 3, that third position. And you're going to put your thumb nice and soft, okay? That's what you're going to do when you start to feel and you begin to recognize when you're longing. Okay?
I was using my left wrist the whole time. Should I be, you said right wrist?
Right now, you're going over here because I told you over here.
Okay.
Both sides have different meanings. In this case, your right wrist, third position, nice and soft, is where you're going to go when you feel that longing. Because your body wants to go into worthless, insecure, unworthy, I can't get results, self-pity. It goes into a whole array of stuff when you do that longing. But if you can catch when you're longing, you can actually stop all these other things from having to repeat itself. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I'm wanting to burp right now.
Good. Okay, well, you can do a little bit now, but I've got to get going. But thank you so much for honoring yourself and me, and I appreciate giving back by letting yourself be vulnerable. We really appreciate this.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Brenda.
Oh, thank you. We'll talk to you later, my dear, and stay blessed. Oops. Okay. You guys are great. I do got to go. And without you, I would be just doing my thing by myself in my own room, what I've done for how many years. So you are a blessing to me by how you share, how you support, and how we are going to learn to uplift each other again and again and again. And we're going to learn how to be a better humanity. And we're going to learn how to become a spiritual human, a spiritual humanity. We're moving in a whole new era. And I'm ready to walk through you with this. And I apparently lost an earring. No, I thought I lost one. Okay. Resolve to evolve. Heal instead of deal. You can always heal that. So you can heal that. Okay. Feel it to heal it. And when in doubt, grab a tool, heal it out. Okay. You got this. I know you do. And we're all going to be able to do this together. Thank you, Erin, for being such a wonderful supporter in the room. Hello, Amber. And you guys have been great, and we will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.